Hello, good morning, everyone. Please, can you confirm that you can see my screen and hear me?
Yes, you can see us.
Okay. Good morning and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at a very important superset of JavaScript known as TypeScript. TypeScript is very, very important when you're building a production scale project. You're working in a very big company. They are going to expect you to write your code in TypeScript. So TypeScript is an open source superset of JavaScript that offers additional features. So with TypeScript, you can have what we call static typing, so that it does what we call error checking for you. So that error checking is very, very important in you building a very robust application. And that is why I want us to quickly look at TypeScript. We're going to be doing a couple of things today. So we'll look at TypeScript first. We'll start out with TypeScript and we'll take a break. I'll take my drugs, come back, and then we'll look at setting up a backend that we can use for authentication. So, since you guys are not up to date yet in your backend APIs for C Sharp, so I'm gonna help us set up a node backend that exposes some endpoints for authentication, so that maybe in our next class, in the next class we are meeting, we can use that to do authentication. So that because I want you guys to be completely ready for your projects. Are we good with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's get started. So what is
Wait,
TypeScript?
sir,
Yeah.
are we allowed to use Node for our project?
No. The node is just for me to set up the backend in order to teach you uh, React authentication using React. Are we clear on that?
Yes.
I know most of you want to use Node, but don't use Node. You use C Sharp for your backend. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. So, like I said, TypeScript is if you want to build like big projects, they want you to do it in TypeScript because TypeScript is more robust, it's more predictable, and far better than JavaScript. But whenever you're teaching programming, it's always good that you teach JavaScript first and let the students understand JavaScript very well. Then you can now show TypeScript so that it doesn't get complicated like putting all of them together. Okay, so it's important that you know that TypeScript offers additional features, uh, which includes static typing. So, and every TypeScript code that you write eventually compiles down to JavaScript. That's why anywhere that JavaScript can run in, TypeScript can also run in such. So you can use TypeScript for both your back end and your front end. So, like some of the apps we build in Z, we actually use TypeScript for both in back end and front end. So TypeScript is very, very important. You might be employed in a company, big company like PwC might require you to build your applications in TypeScript. But TypeScript becomes very easy when you already know your JavaScript and you can use your JavaScript very well. So when we now take a look at these concepts in TypeScript, you will be able to know how to like put it together to build a very good JavaScript application. Okay, so we're gonna be setting up our development environment so that we move forward together. So I'm gonna take it slowly. I want everybody to be carried along. So before I do that, what are the pros and cons of TypeScript? So with TypeScript project, comparatively with JavaScript, you're going to have a very much more robust application and very easy for you to spot a bug. If you're working on a TypeScript project, once you like maybe you want to assign a data type of integer or number and you mistakenly put string, you're going to see the mistake immediately at compile time. As you're developing, you're seeing all the errors. So you don't need to start running your application before identifying the errors. So that's why TypeScript is very, very important. It makes you to write a very readable and predictable code, and it's getting popular by the day. Uh, the only disadvantage in Java in TypeScript is that you have to write more code, and like it's pretty difficult to learn. It's not as easy as JavaScript. Okay, so let's get started. So everybody, please, I want us to create the folder together. So simply go to File, go to Open Folder. Then most of my projects are in my document folder. So inside my document, I'm gonna say New Folder, and I'm gonna say
So are we to create an app first? Or just open to code?
You said what? Sorry.
Are we to create an app first or just open to code?
Yeah, just open Visual Studio Code, or anyhow that it's easier for you. But this is the way I normally do mine. So once I type in the name, I'm gonna click on Create. Then I now have TypeScript tutorial. I think there should be T at the back there. So then I click on Open. Okay, so we have our folder here, TypeScript tutorial. So I'm gonna come up here and close this, getting started, and I'll do a control backtick to bring up my terminal. So please, the initial setup is a little bit tricky, so I want you to pay attention so that everybody will be on the same page before we start the actual writing of the code. So if everybody is here, just let me know.
Please start the process again.
Okay, so what I did was like I just opened VS Code, then I went to our file, then I went to our open folder, then I'm already in my document. So I want to create a new folder that I want to work with, and I'm gonna name it TypeScript Thought. So TypeScript Thought is a folder that is going to be containing my tutorial for TypeScript. So I'm gonna click on Create, and because TypeScript Thought is highlighted, I'll then click on Open. So it's gonna open up and replace the VS Code that was there initially. So you can see it here, TypeScript Thought. So I'm gonna now close the getting started and do Control backtick. Okay, so do it and let me know that you've done it so that we can continue. So let me do a little checkup on you guys. Is Favor in the class? Favor, are you here? I can't actually see the Favor. Ayola, are you in the class?
Yes, sir, I'm in the class, sir.
Okay.
Morning, sir.
How are
I
you?
hope you are feeling better now, sir.
Yeah, I'm better. Oluwafisayo, Oluwakemi.
Yes, sir, I'm in class, sir.
Oluwakemi.
No, Fisaya is in class.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Joanne, Salami, Jane,
I'm in class, sir.
Gabriel, Agoro,
I'm here, sir.
Luasheun.
Yes, sir. Oluwaseun is in the class.
Okay. So are we here now? Like, are we to the same stage as
I didn't hear my name, James.
James? How are you?
Yes, James is here.
Okay.
Fine,
Okay.
I didn't hear mine too. Salisu Rafiu.
Yeah, Sally, so don't worry. I'm just checking up. I'm not taking attendance yet. So chill.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So please, let's everybody get to this level. Please mute yourself so that I don't get echoed. I want us to cover a lot today so that. Okay. Do I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So quickly we are gonna do our. Make sure that you're in the folder that you created. This TypeScript taught. So we're gonna do npm node package manager. Please help me and install it globally. TypeScript. So do that so that you can get TypeScript installed globally into your machine. So that's the first step because we want to be coding in TypeScript. So we're going to say we're supposed to do that. So I already have TypeScript, so my own was pretty fast. So do yours and tell me what the error is while we continue. So once you do it, in order to make sure that you have TypeScript, you're simply going to say TypeScript compiler. Please tell me the version. Okay, so you can see that I have TypeScript version 4.7.4. So check yours and let me know so that we can continue.
It's still installing.
Okay, your own is still installed. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes because I really want everybody to follow together so that. Okay, while I wait for you guys to get TypeScript installed, so let's keep talking about TypeScript. So like I said before, when you're doing interview for some jobs, like they are going to want to know whether you have experience in TypeScript. Like, in fact, for every company, they would want you to build their application in TypeScript. It's just that not too many people know how to use TypeScript, and so like they have to make do with the skill set of the engineers that they have. So what companies what they normally do is that when building the first version of the app, they might just use JavaScript because when you go online, you see plenty project built in JavaScript. So it actually affords people the opportunity to like go online and see sample projects, implement the same logic in the projects they are doing. So the company will let you build in JavaScript for a start. Then, as they expand and as the product they built, as many people start to use that very product. They want to make it more robust. They want to make it more secure. They want to build it in such a way that it's scalable. So they may now want to move from JavaScript to TypeScript. So they would always ask you, like, do you have skills in TypeScript? And like I said before, it's always good you know your JavaScript first, then you try to learn TypeScript. And that is the method that we've applied in this year training. So then there are other statically typed languages like C Sharp, Java. So like when you have TypeScript, they are trying to make TypeScript look almost like C Sharp and Java. But those people that are having C Sharp and Java background, they will always laugh at us in Node and JavaScript. They say that their Java and C Sharp will never be the same as our TypeScript. But TypeScript is cool. And TypeScript has support for most of the JavaScript frameworks like Angular, React. So you can use TypeScript with React. And most of my recent projects were actually done in TypeScript to React. TypeScript React, like most big companies will want you to do it in TypeScript. But if you have a young team, it's always good you develop first in JavaScript, let everybody master the skills, then with time can upskill to TypeScript. Yeah, we'll start with JavaScript, then TypeScript. Okay, so have we all installed TypeScript and checked our versions and made sure that we can see the version number?
Sir, I was using my hand. I was able to install TypeScript, but the version while checking for the version, the TS-V, like I'm not seeing, it's bringing error.
Okay.
It's bringing an error. It's showing me an error.
That means
Same thing here, sir.
Okay. That means yours it's not seeing the TypeScript. You say you used the yarn. Did you say you used the yarn?
Yes, I did, sir.
The other person that had a similar issue, did you also use yarn?
Yes, I did. No, I didn't use yarn. I used npm. That npm install blah 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 blah. It told me that I finished installing one package added. Okay. But when I have to check the version, it's telling me it cannot be loaded, the file, blah blah blah. Yes. It's not digitally signed.
Digitally, Jesus said like digitally signed.
I had the same problem. Just
I think
Git
bash. On Windows on PowerShell. If you check with your Git bash, it should not give you an error.
Okay. So quickly, let's use Git bash and check. You see why we told us all to install Git bash? Like Git bash is commonplace, always effective.
So I have Git bash, but how do I use Git bash?
Okay, just click on your. You see this very place, terminal.
Okay.
I think you should see options on the one to use.
I'm only seeing PowerShell.
Only PowerShell. I think you've maybe you've not integrated Git bash to your.
I see the next arrow. The next arrow will show Git bash.
Are you
the next
seeing
arrow
it?
Close to the plus.
Yeah, are you seeing
yes,
it?
I'm seeing Git bash.
And then pick it. Just pick it. Then run the same command there.
Install again.
Yeah, just do everything and see.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Am I on to James?
No, Favor.
Oh, Favor, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. I think like Windows PowerShell would install it, but it won't be able to give you the version. But if you check with Git Bash, it should give you version 4.7.4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that same for everybody?
I use Windows and I can check it properly on my CMD.
Okay.
And my PowerShell. I don't know why they're having issues.
Wow.
I think it issues with Windows 11.
Okay.
Uh,
So varied issues. So for those still having the issue, then we are gonna just try out some codes and see what happens. Is it? Do we do that? Because possibly
Yes.
possibly yours will also compile.
My own have showed, the version I've showed 4.7.4.
Nice one. Who is on the line?
EJ, sir.
Oh, Jane, how are you?
I'm
Okay.
fine, sir.
So let's get started. Let's get started. Okay. So let's create a TypeScript file since we are not sure that we have TypeScript and we are aware of the version. So we simply come up here and click on new. Then we can call it index.ts. So the TypeScript ends with the extension ts. Okay. So if you want to write a TypeScript code, just the same normal way you do your JavaScript. So I'm going to simply say let the variable name I'm going to use is student ID, and I'm going to say that it is equal to 3. So this is your normal JavaScript. Now if you want to turn this very JavaScript into TypeScript, you're going to come in front of your variable name, then you put your colon, give one space and tell it the data type. So you have to indicate the data type, and we all know that 5 is of data type number. So this is a valid TypeScript expression. This is how you make a statement in TypeScript. So very importantly, you put your colon and then the data type that you want to represent. So in that case, we can now say console.log, and in brackets we're gonna put student ID, student ID. Okay, so I'm gonna save this now. So very importantly, we need to know how to run this file. Okay, so anytime you want to run your TypeScript file, you simply say TypeScript tsc, please compile, then the name of the file. So the name is index.ts. So that is how you compile your TypeScript file. So once you compile it by saying tsc index.ts, it's gonna compile down to JavaScript. So you can now see this is index.ts for the TypeScript, and you can see using this tsc it's able to compile it down to JavaScript. So you can see this is the JavaScript equivalent of this very TypeScript. Okay, so you can see this and you can see this. Okay, so now when you want to run the code and actually see it, you just simply need to go to the go run the JavaScript version. So you simply say node index.js. Okay, then you can see your file down here. So please let's do it. Then if you have any issues, let me know. Please, those that were having the issues with their the TSC version, please can you compile and confirm to me that yours are working?
It's not working, sir.
Okay. So what error is it given?
I'm having unexpected token, the colon.
Unexpected token.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Syntax error.
Syntax, okay. So you're having a syntax error. Is it, did you put semicolon or normal colon?
Yes, yes. A normal colon.
Okay. Please just check, make sure you're having exactly what I'm having. Then you can also try to put semicolon at the back. Are there any other
I
people
guess
having?
the issue is you run Node on index.ts instead of index.js, and try running Node on index.js.
Okay, please make sure you're running Node on .js and not .ts. You can see the way I did it here.
Yes, thank you. That's the error.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So, any other person having a similar issue? Okay, so please take note of the way we went about trying to compile this. So, you create your TS file. Then inside your TS file, you write your code using TypeScript. Then because you installed globally your TypeScript comes with TSC, which is the TypeScript compiler. So once you install TypeScript, you already have TSC. So, and you can now check the version. And after writing your TypeScript, you can use the TSC to compile it. Sorry, please. Hello, sorry, my class. I'll call you back. Okay, so that is how you do it. Very important. When you want to run the code, very soon. Once we are done with the basic concept, then I'm going to show you how to do it in production level, where you have to do your TSC init and have your JavaScript file. Every JavaScript file will be in your dist folder. Your dist folder is the folder that you're supposed to deploy. So inside that dist folder, that's where you have your HTML and other things. So all of them will be seeing the JS file, whereas in your SRC, where you're writing your code for development, this index.ts is going to be in the SRC folder, whereas the index.js will be in the dist folder, which is eventually going to get deployed in the end. Okay, so that is for number. So we can also declare a string. Okay, student name. I think that is perfect. So student name, I can put Ayola.
Morning,
What's up?
sir.
Yeah, how are you?
I keep having an error when I run the CSC index.ts.
Okay.
It keeps saying cannot find name. It's iterable. I don't know why.
Cannot find what?
I cannot find name iterable.
Okay.
So like iteration, but like iterable.
Yeah. So where did you use our name? Did you use name as your variable name?
No, I literally wrote what you wrote.
Okay. Cannot find name as iterable.
Yeah.
And you checked out both.
Maybe I should probably share my screen.
Okay.
Same here too.
Okay.
Same here.
Send me there.
Yes, but the phone showed me 5 and later changed to cannot find name. It's terrible.
Okay, so it showed 5 and later decided not to show it again. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So please let's run this, then we'll share our screen. So I'm gonna say console.log student's name. So I'll save this, and I'm going to try to be watching while I develop so that I don't have to be doing TSC index every time. So in order to do that, I'll simply do TSC dash dash watch. Okay, so you can, if you're having just only one file, which is index.ts, you can put the name there. But if you wanted to like compile every TS code, then you can just press enter key. But since we're having one, I will still say TypeScript. Okay, so with this now, it's gonna, just like NodeMon, it's gonna constantly watch to see any change that you make. So I'm going to come to this second terminal and simply say node index.js. Okay, so you can now see the two, 5 and Iola or Lagide. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
Sir, the watch is on TSC index.
yeah,
Index.ts, right?
yeah. So the watch is on the TSC where you're compiling with your TSC. That's where you have the watch. So in that case, you don't need to do this again. You just keep once you save, you can run your node index.js and your changes will effect. So your watch is in your TSC background.
So my string did not run.
You say
My string did not run.
your what?
String.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
My string did not run. It's only the student number.
Okay, the student name did not come out.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we are gonna like calm down and still check the whole process again so that you understand.
Are you sure you control student's name?
Okay, very importantly, somebody just asked you, are you sure you have this line 5?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so check it there, recompile again, do your TSC stuff again. Please, the person that is having issue with iterable stuff, can you paste the error for me on the chat, or better see on WhatsApp so that I can easily see.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So any other person having issues apart from the two people having iterable related issue?
Okay, sir, this is James. The TSC watch is actually not working, so I need to just like TSC index.ts again.
Okay.
Before I can consolidate the student's name.
Yeah, so let me tell you again the right code. TSC space dash dash watch.
Watch.
Good.
Okay.
TSC space dash dash watch. So the watch is
So should I run it on a new terminal or on the same one where I'm outputting my where I'm in my node index.js, or I should just open another terminal for it and run it from
Please open another terminal because it has to be running so that your node can see the compiled changes that you're making and be able to output it.
Okay. Thank you. Let me try it.
Okay. Any further issues? So
same thing, yes, sir. I have to
pasted it
run
already.
that tx that CS first before running the node. That's why it now showed the name.
Okay, so your own is working well now.
Yes, but I have to still go through the process again.
Okay,
The
so
node.js won't get to it straight.
okay, so please, we're gonna go over it again so that everybody is carried along. So very importantly, you see this plus. Can everybody see this plus here? Can we see this plus? So we click on this plus so that we have as many terminals as we want. So you can see now that I have 3 terminals here. So one of them, you're gonna do TSC TypeScript. Please help me compile. And while you're compiling, I don't want to be doing TSC every time, so I just want you to watch. And what do I want you to watch, compile, and while compiling, keep watching. I want you to do that on my index.ts, the TypeScript file, because the TypeScript file is normally compiled into JavaScript. So in one of the terminals, this is what you should have, and you press the enter key. So please take a look at the code very well. Then in the second terminal, you're just gonna have, wait for it to come out, make sure you're in the directory where you're supposed to be working. So you're gonna have node index.js. Okay, so those are the 2 terminals you're supposed to have. Please, where did you is this Sarah?
Yes, sir. I posted it on the WhatsApp group.
Okay. So everybody try this out now and let's check and see whether it is going now. Perfect, perfect. I love what somebody posted on the WhatsApp. Oluwaseun. So do TSC watch index.ts your bash terminal. Okay. That means Oluwaseun, yours is working now, is it?
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
Perfect. Jen, can your own see the compiled file automatically now?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So is anybody having problem with getting it compiled while being watched?
I am still getting the iterable error.
Okay. So I think let's look at that now. So please, you can just share your screen. So should I stop sharing so that you can share? I think that's the right thing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Can you see my screen, please?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I'm getting.
Okay.
After putting the watch thing.
But you still had the issues even before putting the watch, have you?
Yes, I did. But like when I post the watch, on the node parts, the student ID, I could get it, but I'm not getting the name.
Okay, you can get student part.
I'm getting the student ID, that's the number.
Okay.
But I'm not getting the student name, which is the string.
Okay.
And it's giving me this error.
Okay, so try doing your normal TSC without watch and check whether you can see the string. Somebody is raising his hand. Who is that? Please, you can just unmute yourself and talk.
Still having the error.
But did you see your string?
Nope.
Okay. So let me look at your code again. Sorry. Can you scroll down can you put down your terminal a little bit?
Oh, okay.
Okay, let student ID equal to let Sarah console.log. Good. Can you see that place they have CMD in your terminal? Can you close out all the various terminals?
Okay, I should delete the terminals.
Delete all of them. Okay.
Okay.
So once it doesn't work, then we have to set up your tsconfig file. Then we'll see whether that takes care of the issue. Yeah. So do control backtick or control tilde there. Yeah, new terminal. Good. So let's run one of the command, the first one, Abi. Let's do the first one, which is tsc index.js. Please, can I see your the folder structure? Can you click on Good. So do tsc
Okay.
Please, can you read out the error? Is it the same error?
Yes.
Okay. So let's get back. Do tsc version. Let's see the version first.
Okay.
Okay. So the version is showing. Okay. So we'll set up tsconfig and see whether that will take care of the problem. Okay.
Okay.
So let's continue. You can stop sharing your screen now and I'll continue. So I'll get to the level where we'll set up our tsconfig. Then we can continue.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, Fumi is raising her hand. Fumi Lola. Fumi, want to say
No, I'm
something?
not raising my hand, sir.
Wow.
I raised my hand earlier this morning when I was having issues.
Okay.
Yes,
Has
sir.
your
Thank you.
issue been sorted out?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on the same page with you.
Okay, you're on the same page with me. That's good to know. Okay, so I'm going to quickly share back my screen. Okay, so we are supposed to look at the other data types. That's what I wanted us to do, but because Sarah is having issue, so let's try and see whether the next steps we'll take will take care of her issues. Okay, so when you're doing a big project, you're going to set up your TS config that will help you manage your TypeScript use in your project. So in order to do that, I'm going to quickly get back to where I was. Okay, so I can use this since I already have this. So I'm going to say TypeScript compiler, please do the initialization in order to bring up my TS config. So I press the enter key. Please, can everybody do this? Let's have our, once you do that, you're going to see your TS config.json, which is going to have the configuration for your TypeScript project. So with the TS config, you can actually manage how your TypeScript is taken care of. So I'm going to click on it so that you see. Okay, so this is the content of the file. You can see most things are commented out. So depending on the feature that you want to add to your TypeScript, then you have to uncomment that very well. So when we are Decagon, like, they will give us a project and they will tell us to do it in TypeScript. So when you come to your TypeScript TS config, like, you can make some settings that even when you're not using TypeScript, your code will still be running. So you do most of those things on the TS config. So you can make your TypeScript checking to be less harsh on you. So any of those that you want to do, you'll be doing it here. So we're going to be checking it out. So you notice that immediately I did this TS config, these errors, some of the error here went out. So that is actually why I thought this could actually help Sarah. So please, everybody should do this.
So I have an error.
Okay, so what is your error?
It's telling me that I can't run scripts. The TSC is not recognized as the name of the CMD outlet. Something.
Who is on the line?
Sir?
Who is on the line?
Sorry, sir. This is Farhan.
Oh, Farhan. Farhan, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Hope you're doing fine too.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So I don't know. Okay, we are gonna get to you. So let's see whether
every other thing so far is fine. I don't know.
Every other thing is so fine apart from the TSA name. Okay, don't worry. We'll take care of that. So, like,
hello.
Yeah.
Fan, are you also using Windows 11?
What?
Are you also using Windows 11?
Yes, I'm using Windows 11.
Try it with Git Bash.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll do the Git Bash now. Thank you.
Okay. Plenty Windows people in
Yeah,
this my class.
it's working with Git Bash. If you're using Windows 11,
it's working with
Git Bash.
Wow.
We can't impute it on our terminal.
Interesting.
Yeah, you guys, thank you.
You see that you guys have to upgrade to Mac, Abby. Your first salary. First salary, like most of the issues that, in fact, see, when I was using, if you use Mac after using HP, like, you will not want to use HP again. No? Like, I used to use HP before. Like, the performance and everything in Mac is something else. Just try it.
We want to try it, sir. Just money.
Don't worry. Very soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Very soon you start getting money. Once PwC employs you now, first salary, second salary, bagame. No, they are even gonna, like, naturally they will give you a Mac system to work with. So all those having small issue with computer, Jen, no more complaints. No more complaints again. Once just work hard, make sure you're putting in some work. Once you get your first gig, you should be able to have a good computer, uh, possibly from the company that will be employing you. So they will give you a very good computer that you can use to work with. And that should be Mac. Make sure you're getting Mac. If you're using it's something else. Like when I started using Mac, like it took me a while to like get used to the environment. But do you know, with my former system, my HP, I want to go to GitHub and clone a project and study the code base. After using my laptop for like I think 2 or 3 years, like I have a lot of things on the laptop already. So if I do git clone, sometimes I'll go inside the bathroom, bath. I even go to the kitchen, cook and come back. It's still it's still cloning. If I do npm install, if let's say I got a very heavy project and I do npm install, that one you might even sleep and wake up, it's still installing. On HP. HP is something else. Then do the same thing with Mac, and you just be amazed at the speed. Immediately you're touching it, bagam, everything, vroom, vroom, so fast.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah. I was actually thinking people using Mac like they are using it for fizzy and stuff like that, but like when you're doing development, you find out that Mac is by far ahead of HP and other systems. Okay. So, Farhan, your issue is this solved?
It's solved now. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Okay. So we now have our tsconfig file, and you can see it took care of many things already. So we're gonna try to work from here now. So I'm gonna go to my tsconfig. I'm gonna do some certain things there, and I want you to follow me and do that. Okay. So quickly check through, and you're.
No, sir. Sorry, I don't have. Can you go through it again? This is Salisu.
Okay, Salisu. I'm gonna go through it again. So, like, do you have your terminals opened up? Like, I have like 4 terminals here, but I'm actually using just 3. So I have one that is running my TS watch already, which I'm gonna close very soon because I want to operate from tsconfig.json. Then I have another one that is running my node file. So in the first one, you're supposed to have let me see whether I have the code. In the first one, you're supposed to have tsc space index dot ts. So that is the first way I said we should run it. Then later I said in order to keep watching, you do dash dash watch. So do you have this command imputed in your first terminal and running? Because that's what I'm having here. So try to make sure that is what you have.
Let me quickly.
Yeah, quickly do it. Okay, while he does it, let's keep looking through. So we actually want to get to this model. We want our root directory to be our src folder. So I'm going to be here and I'm going to type in src. And because I want this to work, I'm going to take out the comment. So that means now the root dir, which stands for root directory, which stands for the root folder, where I'm going to be writing my code, is going to be inside /src. I don't have this folder yet, so I'm going to create this folder here. Okay. So if you're following, quickly come up here, click on this folder, and type in src. So henceforth, that is going to be where we'll be working from. Okay. Fumilayo, Fumilola,
Sir.
are you there? Okay. Sarah?
This Sarah Obasi.
Please take it again.
I'm
there, sir.
Okay, let's take it one by one. Sarah, I'm listening.
Okay, thank you. So I did the config thing.
Okay.
I'm still I'm having errors on the TSC watch. I'm still having that iterable error, but on the terminal where I opened the node index.js, it gives me my answers.
Okay, you see the problems are being solved one by one. So we are very soon we're gonna close out the TS watch once we are done setting up your TS config, and we operate from TS config, and we look at your problem again and we'll try to solve it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So somebody said she had issue with this. So just click on TS config file, then scroll down. So you have two major things up there. Compile option is uncommented. Target is uncommented. Then under module that is uncommented, you're going to see root dir. So uncomment that root dir and put src in front of your slash. That's what we did because we want to be working from src. So our TS file henceforth is going to be inside src. And in that same way, we are going to scroll down and come up to emit section and look through emit section and get to out there. Then we are going to uncomment out there and come in front of this place and put dst dist. So dist is the folder that will have our JS file, and it is inside this folder that you have HTML and other things that you want to push to deployment. Are we together?
Please take it one again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Salisu, is this who Salisu?
Yes, sir.
Is that you? Okay. So were you able to like get to your first terminal?
On the terminal errors, but on the batch, so it runs well. Okay. I have the config.
Okay, so yes, you're okay now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, apart from the last things I said about the TS config. So click on the TS config and it will come out here. Then just scroll down. Once you get to models, you see root dir, uncomment it and add up src to the back of the slash. And scroll down again, get to emit, uncomment out there and add up dst to the back of the slash. So once you're done, do Ctrl S to save these configuration that you have now. So it's everybody on the same page. Any issues? Okay. Salisu, are you able to get that?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So once we are done, you see we already have our src. So we're going to go up here again. And we're going to create our dist, the dist folder. Oh, sorry. You see, this is wrong. Make sure your dst is not inside your src. So I'm going to right click in case you make such mistake.
So my own src does not appear. I need to create it. It's not appear. No pop up on its own.
No. It doesn't pop up on its own. You have to create it by yourself. Okay. So I've deleted that. So let me also delete the src in case if you're having issues, so that will create all of them together. So this is what you're supposed to have. So you click on folder and you have your src. You press the enter key. Then you click on any of these other lower class so that it will put them on the same level. Then click on another folder. Then you have your DST. Okay, so I'm having DST and src. And why I created them, because I made reference to them in the tsconfig.json. So I have to create them so that when I run my code, it will know where to find them from. Are we good? I hope no issues. Do we continue? So setting up is normally the little issue that you have in TypeScript. So once you do the right thing, then you'll be good. Okay, so since we have this now, we can simply get to our this is our JavaScript. So I can just delete it completely, because I don't want to be working with this JavaScript again. So I'm going to click on delete. So the JavaScript is out now. Then the TypeScript, I'm going to simply take it and put it inside src. You can see the way I just did mine. Let's say move. Okay. So because of this configuration that I have now, next time when I run my TypeScript, it will just spit out a JavaScript file and put it inside DST. So having done this, I'm going to just clear out.
Sir, where did you drag the index.txt?
Okay. The index, I just dragged it into src. So my index is now inside my src. So if I click on src, I see my index. So you can actually copy and go and paste inside, or you can create a totally new file inside src, call it this one and delete this one. So any way you want to do it. So please try it and tell me that you're done so that we can move forward. So once I've done this, I'm going to quickly close out all these terminals. I don't want to use them again because I want to start afresh doing good things. Okay, so I've taken all of them out and I'm doing Control tilde or Control backtick to bring up my terminal again. So that I'll start from tsconfig. So Sarah, very importantly, you need to do this. Just do what I just did now, so that you will see that your problem will almost be sorted out. So any issues? Okay. So now that I'm here, I can simply say type script compile. Please help me and compile. And while you're compiling, please keep watching. But this time around, I don't want to tell it where to the file. I don't want to tell it whether it's indexed. I want it to just look through my folder, and anywhere TypeScript compile sees any file that has the extension of .ts, please just get it compiled down to JavaScript for me. And when you do that, please spit it out into the dist folder. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to press the enter key. So you can see starting compilation, it found 0 errors, and it's also watching. Okay, so what I can do now is to simply go get another terminal, and in this new terminal I'm gonna cd change directory into the dist folder, because that's where I have my JavaScript file. So I'm there now. So even if I go click on it, I'm already seeing the index.js, because when I did my TSC compile and watch, it did that. It's already spit it into this. So once I go there, I'm gonna see all these my guys here chilling. So here,
the watch command that you imputed.
Sorry, come again.
I said, can you please repeat the watch command that you imputed before now?
Okay, I'll do just that. But before that, I want to just say node index dot js. Okay, so everything is working perfectly now. So let me go through the commands again. So I say close out every terminal that you had initially, so that we can work with what the tsconfig.json gives us. So once you're done closing them out by deleting, this is how you close them out, not by just closing out this one. Deleting to make sure that all the processes run at the background of these terminals are closed out.
We should delete all of them.
Yeah. Just delete all of them so that you know where your error is coming from.
Sir, please, what was the watch command that you used? TSC.
Okay, so this is the watch command. I said, TypeScript, please help me compile. But while you're compiling, I want you to watch. So that's watch. Now, what do I want you to compile and watch? Nothing. I just want you to go through the folder, the whole folder. Then anywhere you see a TypeScript file, compile it and spit it out into the dist folder. And once I did that, I went and clicked on the dist folder, and I was able to see my index.js. Any issues now?
No, it works perfectly now.
Okay, I told you.
Sir, I'm not seeing my.
Sorry. Yeah, you're not seeing what?
Index.js.
You're not seeing your index.js?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just make sure you get back to your tsconfig and make sure you have your add there uncommented, and
yes,
with /these, make sure you save it again. Just save it again, get back to your terminal, remove everything in your terminal, and try out the process again. So Sarah, you're good now, B?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay. So we're gonna go into the coding. Wow,
so I'm still not seeing it.
Okay. Is it Joanne?
Jane.
Jane, you want to share your screen so we take a look at your screen?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, do that. So I'm gonna stop sharing. So you share. Let's take a look at your screen.
Can you see my screen?
No. In case any other person is seeing, let me know.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
It's not here.
Okay. So I can barely see what is written. Can you read out the error for me?
There's no error. Okay, there's command not found.
You're putting dist there. Where did that dist come out from?
Sir?
I don't know where did this come out. Like the dist, you're having dist before your TSC. The instruction says TSC that's watch, no dist, and you're supposed to do this from inside your root folder. Possibly that's the issue. Okay. So let's see. You have dist and SRC and yes, good. So see what you do. Can you cd dot dot? Go to your terminal and type in cd space dot dot. Press the enter key. Okay, you're inside document now. Good. So do cd dot dot. No, cd space TypeScript tutorial. Just the name of your folder that you're working with. Sorry, I'm gonna pick this call. Yeah. Good afternoon. Yeah. Oh, please, I'll for you back. Okay, cd TypeScript. Is that the name of your folder? Press enter if that is it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. So now go close out all your terminals. Okay. So open up a new terminal. Okay. So say TSC. You're in Bash, Abby. Good.
Yes, sir.
So do TSC space dash dash watch and press the enter key. Okay. Nice one. What's it saying?
Error. Is the index.js is now in my SRC instead of in my dist.
Your
So,
what?
I think it's in the line 52, like the dot.dist is supposed to be after the slash. Be dist is supposed to be after the slash.
I go to your TS config. I can't even see your the what is on your screen. I don't know. So go there, go to the doc, the place that he just referenced now.
And yeah.
Are you
Your
there?
line 52. Yeah, put the dist after the slash, not before the slash.
Oh.
I should put what?
Yeah, put the slash.
The slash, the DST should
the
come
slash
after the slash.
after
Wow, my battery is low.
You put the slash after the DST. You are supposed to put the slash.
Nice one, nice one. I'm enjoying this class. A lot of people already know what.
That is to root the folder dot slash.
That's it now.
Yes, then you save. You have to save it.
You have to save it.
Done.
Done. Then you have to try it again. So do Ctrl C to go out from that.
This terminal is having push. This person.
Okay. So let's do TSC space dash watch.
Hello.
Make sure you just delete those two. Delete what is inside your dist folder. Make it empty. Go inside it. Delete what is there already. If you have something there.
Nothing is inside my dist.
Okay. So
please. Inside my SRC.
delete the JS file that is there. Good. So the TS file is inside the SRC or just inside the root folder?
So inside the SRC.
Inside the SRC. Can you click on it? Let me see.
I've deleted it. You said I should delete it.
No, the TSC file, not the JS. You deleted the JS. You're still having the TS. Can you click on the TS? Okay. So you can try the command again. So go to your terminal, try it again. Let's see. Space dash watch.
It's popping up inside SRC.
It's popping up inside SRC?
Yes. Sir.
Yeah, so there's an issue. So go back to your TS config and check out the other one. The one for the root folder. Check it out. And also check back what you wrote there in the this folder. I don't know whether there are errors there. I can't even see it. So maybe I have to open up my own so that you look through mine and make the okay. You see the same problem there. Okay.
Yes.
So save. Now go back into the SRC folder and remove that index.js there. Delete it. Then you do the process again.
It's already appearing in my gist. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Wow. So let's keep going. So everybody is on the same page now, Abi. I think I should take this out. So let's get back to our TSC. Okay. So you can see that this place we declared our number, and our number is 5 because it's a number. And here we have string. So number will always be 5. So if we go here and try to change our student ID and assign it student ID, and we try to now assign it to maybe a string or something else. Let's say we assign it to a string of 5. Then we're going to have this squiggly line under it because we know that string is not assignable to type number. So even if we are going to reassign this, we should always know that student ID should always be a number and not a string. And you know that a string is anything that is inside quotes. So even though this is 5, but because it's inside quotes, it's a string. So even if you write Ada, you're still going to have these squiggly lines under. But once you write a number, say 10, now you're supposed to be good. So make sure you remove the quotes to indicate that this is a number. So you're not good. So now, instead of making a mistake of assigning the wrong thing and running this project and finding out that you made a mistake, during coding, TypeScript is going to help you check the type checking. It's going to help you do type checking, and you don't even have to make the mistake in the first place. So TypeScript is very good. Like I said, that is the industry standard for building a very robust application. Okay, so that is that for that. So let's look at other data types. So let's look at other data types. So I'm going to say let is registered. I love that. So we are asking whether this student is registered. So you know the value is going to be true or false. But the type is Boolean. Very important. So that is how you indicate type boolean for your TypeScript. So you also have what we call type any. So I can simply say let y, and we'll give it a type of any. Then give it equal to uh, PWC boot camp. Okay, so that's the new type any. That means that y can actually take any type. It could be, if I redeclare y now and give it a number, there will be no issues. So that is what my y is. So if I come down here now and I say this my y now should be 10. So if I say y should be 10 now, y, please take 10. So I'm reassigning. Remember, when you're reassigning, you don't need to put let again. So y10, you can see there is no issues. Y was actually declared here as any, and here the value is string, but here I'm not assigning number to it. Still, there is no squiggly underlining because we've declared the type as any. That means y can actually take any type of value. So those are the fundamental data types in TypeScript. So you can see that TypeScript and JavaScript, they're almost the same, except for these colon, then the data type that you now introduce. Okay, class, any questions?
Okay, sir. I think I am in my list folder. I think while you were working on the index.js, my next work. I don't know how it is that index.js actually got into the dist folder. I think the last thing I did was deleting the index.js from the main folder, then shifting the index.ts into the SRT. So I don't know how this index.js came to the dist.
Okay, beautiful. How did it come about? It actually came in there because you have your tsc config.json where you've told it here that out directory, that means where you're going to be spitting out your JS file should be inside dist. So once you run your tsc watch, automatically it will compile it and spit it into the dist folder. And that is how we got to having our index.js in our dist folder. Are you clear on that?
Okay, fine. Okay, let me do that.
Oh, please do. So the only file you need to create is your index.ts. So it will naturally compile your TS file and put it by itself into this DST folder. And like I said, this DST folder is the folder that you deploy to production, or the files inside it are the files that you use to deploy to production because your browser can see your JavaScript. Okay, were you able to do that? But we're gonna just continue while we wait for you to try it out.
Okay, yes, I got that already.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So let's move forward. So we're gonna declare arrays in TypeScript. How do you get arrays declared? So I'm gonna simply say let student IDs. So I want to pick the IDs of the students. So I'm gonna say let student IDs. Let all their IDs. I want to pick them inside an array. So this student IDs is going to be of type number. So this array is going to be of type number. It's going to contain numbers. And now I assign the various IDs to them. 1, 2, 3, and 5. So that is how you declare an array of numbers. So first of all, you write number, indicating that this is going to be arrays of numbers. Then you put your block or square brackets in front. So you're now telling it that this is going to be an array of numbers. And as you can see, this is actually array of numbers. So if you try to go put something that is not a number here, you see there's a squiggly bracket there telling you that, oh, this is a string. And if you hover over it, it's going to tell you type string is not assignable to type number. So you're expected to assign number to it. So very importantly, you can see this tooltip is very, very important. So once you're seeing a squiggly line under your code, then you hover over it, then you'll be able to see where the error is actually coming from. Okay, so I'm going to put this back to what it should be, which is normal 5 or 6, as you want. Okay, so very importantly, like as you're coding, you're seeing your error immediately. That's one good thing about TypeScript. You don't need to go run it before you see the error. So it saves you that extra time of going to run the code, identifying the error, searching through to identify the error and solve the issue. So at development time, you're seeing your errors. You can see why they are encouraging you to use TypeScript, because that's the issue. Okay, so that is it for array of numbers. So you can also have arrays of strings, and it's as easy as saying let student names this time around. You know, array is a collection of values. Integer or number is just one number, string one string. But when you say array, array is a collection. So inside your square bracket, you can put as many values as possible. Okay, so this one is now array of string. So you have to write string, then you put your square bracket telling us that this is array of strings. So somebody cannot come here and put a number in the array of strings. You cannot just come here and put 6. So once you put 6, you can see underlined telling you that, hey, you don't have to put 6 there. So let's get it back to, so I have, you see my my GitHub, my co-pilot now knows about Ayola, knows about Olajide, knows about Oluwaseun. Interesting. So as you're using GitHub Copilot, like over time, it will learn how you write your code, know what you like writing, and starts helping you. It's using AI, artificial intelligence, behind the scene to take in your data, use it on the trend model, the neural network, and the model, and learn your behavior, and it's able to help you out. Interesting. So how many people are having either Tab 9 or Copilot now? You remember I told you people nobody should have either of those. But it's like I saw somebody using one thing in the class, Tab 9. How many people are using these to help out? If you're using it, better just own up. Who is using Copilot or Tab 9?
People are raising their hand.
Okay, they are raising their hand. Okay, sorry, I can't even see the hands. How many people? Can you help me count? Okay, while he's counting, like I said, it's always good you do the coding first, but does it really matter? I think you can just start using it immediately if you're actually working every time, like getting to know the basics and at the same time having the help. That's why I like white people always make things very easy, like always researching, finding easier ways to make things very easy. Like you want to have your components, you can use your array fc, get it out of the way so that you spend your time thinking about the logic, thinking about how to arrange your project, thinking about more important things than those basics. So I think it's good. So if you're not able to get Copilot, you can always use tab 9. Just go to the your extension tab here and type in tab 9 so that you can start using that for your code completion. But let that not make you lazy. But you can use that. It's almost like Copilot. I was actually using it before I started using Copilot, but Copilot is very advanced and sophisticated. Okay, so let's get going. So that's a string of array of strings. So you can also, if you want to combine both strings and array, you can use what we call any array. So I can say let's uh, student details. I think that should be better. Student uh, detail. Okay, so let student detail. Let me put it details. So I'm gonna express this as type any, and once I express it as type any, then I put in the quotes to tell it that it has to be any array. Then I assign the value. So you can see me assigning values like 1, values like Iola true. So I have a number here, I have a string here, and I have a boolean. And it still comfortable because like you earlier told it that it can actually take any value. So that is any. Okay. So you can also have what we call a tuple. So you can say let student. Okay, so I think that's what I want. Let student be equal to. So student is going to have the type of. In tuple, you're telling it that this is actually how you want these things arranged, and this is how you want them kept. So you can't rearrange. You just have to put a number first, put a string, then put a boolean. So you can say in tuple, you don't need to write any and then write a block bracket or square bracket. You just inside your square bracket indicate the types. So that's what they call tuple. Tuple. Okay, so let's breeze through all of them. So you can also have what we call a topo array. So I can say let is that what I want? No. So I can say let student array, let student array, and I actually want this very student array to be a tuple array, and in that case it's going to have name, string, and boolean inside an array. Yeah, I think that's what I want. So this is what we call tuple array. So you have the a square bracket having how you want it to be arranged. So you want to have a number, a string, and a boolean. but you don't want it to just be only one. You want to have many. So you want to have comma and other sets of data. So that is how you do that. So this very student array, you can also, this tuple, you can write it another form. So you can simply say let student students array this time around. So I want it to also be a tuple with the following details, okay? But then I don't want to assign this value here. So I want to simply come down here and now assign it so that it will be clearer. So I say student array now, then I can give it values. So I can say good. I think that's what I want. Okay, so what I simply did, this is actually similar to this, only that I now had to, instead of making this double square brackets, I just put them down here. So it's as if I'm reassigning, and you know I can reassign because I'm using let here and not const. So this is very similar to what we have here. Oh, please, I want to, can I keep going? Are we there? Have we written all these? Or should I give us time? Huh?
Please give us a little bit of time to
please
finish copying.
I'll give you time now to write this. Just a little time. Then I'll just run through them and we'll have a break so that we can rest and look at them. So I'll just dwell on the most important ones. So we'll look at interface. Interface is very important because that's what you'll be using in your React. So once we look at interface, I think we can call it a time for this. Yeah, please let me know when you're done. Okay, are we done? Are we done, or do we still need more time?
A little bit more time, more. 3 minutes more.
Okay, 3 minutes more. So after 3 minutes, please, I'll have to beg you. We'll just look at functions and interfaces, and we'll call it a time for now. Then we'll resume back. How many hours do we want for break?
2 hours will be nice.
Okay.
Our usual 1 hour.
Who's that one now?
Jessica
2 hours is perfect, sir. Oh, we need to go and eat. We have not eaten.
Jessica blood the hot. She want the
By
code.
this
She
time,
just
we
want
should
the
have
code.
eaten.
They go.
I don't eat early, ma. So we can go with 1 hour. It's okay.
How many people are picking 1 hour? How many people 2 hours? Which is
1 hour. Say hi.
1 hour. Say hi.
Nobody is saying hi.
Okay. 2 hours.
Hi.
One person.
Okay. 2 hours. Say
Get
hi.
to
3 I.
I for 2 hours.
No, now only one person they talk.
Hi.
I.
I was I.
That one has come.
The majority carry the vote.
See that smile. Man, show you where you go smile. You go spend that.
Okay, so let me quickly rush through all these so that we can go do some other things. So quickly, let's look at functions. So you all know how we create a function. So to create a normal function, we can simply say function, and we put the name of the function. So we can say add numbers or sum num. So we want to sum two numbers. And once we say that, we are going to put inside brackets the numbers we want to sum. So let's call them num1, comma num2. So those are the two numbers we want to sum. And then the next thing we're going to do is to put the normal brackets where we are going to define what this sum is going to do. So we're going to tell it to return num plus num2. So this is how you would write your function in JavaScript. But now if you want to make it TypeScript, so all these nums, you need to indicate their types. So I'm going to go inside this first one, put my colon, and say that this is actually a number. So I'm going to do same for num2, which is the second argument. Put this and say that this, I want it to also be a number. So with this, you've indicated the types of the arguments. But you're not going to stop there. You're also going to tell it the return value. So what do I want to return? If I add these two numbers, I also want to return another number. So for you to indicate the type of the return value of the function, so what's its sum going to return? So you come in front of this bracket, just right in front of this bracket, put colon and tell it that I also want you to return a value with the type number. So this is how you write a function. So in your variable declarations and in your return value, you have to indicate the type of value. Okay. So if you now want to call this very function, you know how to call a function. So you can simply say sum num, then you pass in two numbers. So you pass in 1 and 2, it will be okay. But if you go passing in 1 and you put a, let's say, a value, a string, so string 3, you see it's giving you a squiggly line telling you that, oh, you're actually, if you over it, to tell you argument of type string is not assignable to type number. So you want this to be a number, so you have to make sure you write the right thing, and that is what TypeScript does for you. Help you do error checking, so that anytime you're passing in your argument, your parameters, you're passing in the right things there. Okay, so if you want to see this, you simply enclose all these inside console.log. So I'm going to put these here and get to the back and say console.log, because I want to see it. You know, if you want to see something, you must also always say console.log. So when you save now and you get back and run your, so you can see it's watching. So I don't need to do TSC again. It's constantly watching. So once I get back here, I can simply do my node index.js. Okay, so I can now see my console.log. This is 1 and 4. So 1 plus 4 is supposed to give me 5. That's why we have 5 here. Okay, if I come here and put 20 and come here and put 13 or 14, then I save. If I come back here again and run my code, I'll see 34, because 20 plus 14 is 34. So that is how you write a function using using TypeScript. So lastly, before we go, I want us to look at interface. So interface is very, very important, because we can use it to write out many things. Both if you want to declare a class in your React, you can use interface for that. If you want to declare a function, if you want to declare objects, which is actually what you're going to be doing most times if you're using React to do this. So I'm going to simply create one interface, and I'm going to call it student data interface. So I'm going to call it student data interface. So anytime you want to declare interface, you must first of all write the keyword interface. So once you write that, you write the name of the interface. The rem is student. It's always starting in capital letter. So I say student. Some people will always just write it as student without putting interface, but to make it clear, I'm going to call it student interface. So once you write that, you can now declare, because we want to create an object of students, that's why we are declaring the interface first, where we are going to declare the types of all the properties of object. So I'm going to come down here and start. So I'm going to start with student ID, and I want it to be a number. So I'm going to say student ID, and I want it to be a number. So I want another thing, property of my object. I want it to be names of the students. So student name, and I want it to be a string. So I want another thing. I want to know whether the student is registered, and it's going to be a boolean. Okay, so once I'm done, I close this. So this is the interface. So that next time I want to create this object, I can simply use this interface. So I can simply now say, let student itself, let the real student have the following data. So real student data is going to have this interface. So once it's having this interface, I'm going to simply assign values now to it. So I'm assigning student ID for the first person to be ID 1. And because ID is already a number here, it will not read any error. So I can now assign student name to be a string, Ayola. And because student name is actually a string and I'm giving it a string now, there's no issue. Then I'm going to say whether it's registered is true. And because it's the same thing, it's not going to give me an issue. So you can see now, instead of indicating the actual types here, I had earlier used student interface to indicate the type so that I can simply write out my stuff. And this is what you're going to be doing mostly when you start applying React to your project. Okay, thank you very much. We are almost at 11 o'clock. So we'll be coming back by sharp 11. We have 12, 1. So we'll be coming back by sharp 1. Okay. Is everybody good? I hope nobody is having errors again. Jen, are you good?
Sure, sir. I'm good.
Okay. So,
sir.
Yeah.
Just one thing.
Okay.
I'm still having issues with the index.js in this file because I'm actually watching, but then once I output this thing, once I do the node index.js, it creates another file again in the src file for me. So I don't know what's wrong.
Okay, it creates another src.
Like it creates another index.js file.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think actually
it creates another index.js file in the src file again instead of in this.
Okay, I think your problem will be here. Just get back to your TSC config. Make sure that you have this exactly the way I have them here.
Okay.
Then you scroll down to your source dir. Those are the only two places we'll make changes. Under models, root to dir, we directed it to /src. Then our out dir, we directed it to /dist. So those are the two things. Once you're here, then create these two folders, dist and src folder. You have to create the two of them by yourself. Then inside src, that's where you also create another file, index.ts. So when you want to run your watch, make sure you're in the outside of the folder. But when you want to run your node, make sure you're inside the dist folder. So do that, and when
I should run watch inside the.
Yeah, watch has to be run under your root folder. Make sure it's not dist that is showing here when you want to run watch. If you want to run watch, what should be showing here is TypeScript taught. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for your time. So see you guys in 1 hour time by sharp 1. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah.